Okay, so we're now recording. I'm just going to put my video on, so hopefully this will work all right. Hello, everyone. So I know there's not that many on at the minute. There's only 8 of us here, but as I said, normally there's more people will join us as time goes on. So you're very welcome to joining us today. For those who have never been to one of these before, it's great to have you here. My name is Simon. I'm the partnership and business development manager for Peachfolio. And every week I have been active really on a Wednesday. I do an AMA. Over the last few weeks, we've started doing it over video since we're sort of doxed or out doxed anyway, and we're partially doxed the team. Before then, we would have just done it on voice, but now you can have the absolute pleasure of seeing me in my full glory, as it were. So you're very welcome if this is your first time here. It's great to have you, as I say. What we generally do is I will talk for a little while about the project and where we are at the moment, how things have been going in the last week, and what we see as happening over the next few weeks and months. So if you've been here before, you'll probably hear some of the same things that I'm going over, perhaps that I have previously, but it's worth going over again. And we'll talk about just what's been happening behind the scenes, I suppose, with the Peachfolio team. And then at the end, you'll all get the opportunity, if you want to ask me a question, you're very welcome to do that, be it on voice or, as I said earlier, on Telegram. So you're very welcome to do that. We always encourage people to ask questions and get involved because, first of all, we're a very open, transparent team. We love having access to our community, and very often we get great ideas and feedback from the community that actually really benefits us as a team, and sometimes can shape some of the things that we are aiming to do with the app and the ecosystem and the project in general. In fact, that did happen last week. Somebody came up with a really great idea that we haven't really thought about for some of those scam airdrop tokens that you sometimes see in the app. A guy that was here last week came up with a great idea to try and help us manage those. So we are always listening to our community, and if you do have a good idea, we'd love to hear it. And if we can implement it and we think it's worth doing, we'll certainly try and do that, because we want to make the best possible product that we can for the community, for you guys, for everybody in DeFi. I want to make it the best we can. So having your feedback there is very important. So I'll just get started then with some of the things that I wanted to talk about today. And I suppose probably a good place to start as any is probably just the overall market conditions that we currently have at the minute. I mean, you'll know, obviously it's been quite a challenging week. I mean, there's no getting around it. It has been a challenging week, not just for us, but really for, I think, almost every project out there in the crypto space. Bitcoin obviously has had a rocky few days, and as you all know, I'm sure by now, whenever Bitcoin drops, there's a bit of confidence lost in the market, I suppose, generally, and you have people who maybe see it as an opportunity to sell and then buy in, hopefully at a lower rate, and then you have newer people who are new to the market, maybe panic a little bit and sell out. And that has an impact, obviously, on the Bitcoin price, but also on the overall crypto market, because really Bitcoin is the number one asset out there, and whatever it does, everything else tends to follow it. And that's what we've seen this week. And we've talked about this before. Bitcoin goes down, people react, and some people panic, but a lot of people think, well, the Bitcoin's going down, that probably means everything else is going to go down as well. So I'm going to sell a little bit now and try and get in at a lower price. So it happens to Bitcoin, it happens to BNB, obviously, because BNB follows Bitcoin to a degree, in the sense of the market sentiment. And then obviously when BNB starts going down, that has an impact on all BNB linked tokens, of which obviously the Peach token is one. So it does have an impact on us, unfortunately, and it's one of those things that we we can't really do very much about, to be perfectly honest. If the market conditions are kind of negative, it does impact on our chart, obviously, at times, unfortunately. But it's perfectly normal, and we're totally relaxed about it. It's fine. If you look at the chart and you zoom out a bit, you'll see that really what we have created is a new floor for the Peach token, which is at a higher rate than it was, a few weeks ago. So we're very positive about that. We're going the right direction. The project is growing. Obviously, the products that we're creating and the ecosystem is all growing and developing behind the scenes. But the token as well is growing as well. We're gaining in holders, and generally, it's a positive outlook for it. Although obviously this week has been challenging. There's no getting around it. We can't ignore that. It has been. But for those of you who have been with us for any length of time, hopefully you'll see what we're doing, and you'll trust that we will get to where we are saying that we're going to get. And as you know, unlike many projects, we actually have a working product that we're developing and is improving all the time, and we're going to build on that, and that's where the confidence from our community comes from. And we're very lucky to have a lot of people who have been with us really from the start or very early in the project, who really believe in us and or have stuck with us through all the ups and downs that we've had since we started sort of back in June time. And we're very grateful for that, and we hope that we will continue to gain your trust as we go forward. So I suppose I just wanted to mention just the overall market conditions, because obviously when you look at the chart at the minute, there's a lot of red there, but when you look at the bigger picture, it's quite normal, totally expected. People will buy and sell. That's just the way it is. It's about looking at the overall trend, and the overall trend is growth, and that's the main thing. And as I've said before, and I've said many a time, what we are looking for in Peachfolio is organic growth. That's what we want. Although having huge pumps from time to time can be very exciting, and everybody likes to see the price go up sharply. It's not always the best thing that can happen actually to a token, that sort of situation, because you tend to get a lot of new people in who maybe don't really understand what they're buying, maybe don't have a huge amount of interest in it, and are just buying it because they're seeing the price go up. And then inevitably a huge proportion of those people will sell at a certain price, and you do get a bit of a dump afterwards, and it can do a bit of damage actually to the project, seeing things like that on a regular basis. So it's not really something that we're aiming for. We do want continual growth, and positive price action, obviously, and we are getting that. But I suppose we're slightly different to a lot of projects out there in DeFi, in that we're very much utility product focused team, and obviously the Peach token is extremely important. But our view is, if you build the product to a high enough standard and you get it out to enough people, then all the other value, including the token, will grow with that inevitably. So that's the way we've sort of structured ourselves and working towards, and that's what we're seeing. So we're pleased with that. The brand awareness that we're building continues to grow. The number of people using the app is growing we've had a huge spike actually in new real users using it on a regular occasion every day. That obviously has had an impact on the servers. And I did explain this last week, that unfortunately over the last 2 or 3 weeks we probably haven't had the sort of response times and things like that in the app that we would expect to have. And I know that has caused a bit of frustration for our users, and we're very sorry about that. We're working very hard at the minute to upgrade the servers, and we're also working on the back end as well to try and alleviate some of the issues that we have. But it's growing pains really for us as a project, because it's simply because we actually have a product that people like, and more people are using it on a daily basis. That's why we have this problem. So in a way, it's a good problem to have, and it's something that we're working on to fix. So bear with us. I think from talking to the guys working on the app at the minute on the server upgrade, we're hoping that should be completed by Monday. So once we have that sort of locked in, that we know exactly when it's going to be finished and everything's ready to go, we'll give you an announcement and we'll let you know that. But the working theory at the minute is that it will be Monday. Hopefully that it will happen. So bear with us on that. I know it's not ideal, because sometimes, I mean, we use the app all the time as well ourselves, you know, and I know how frustrating it can be sometimes if you've opened it up and you're expecting things to just pop up there, and sometimes there's a delay, or maybe you have to refresh it a few times to get the data through, and it's not great, you know, and that's not what we want. So we are working on it, so just bear with us. The other thing I know that's a little bit frustrating for people using Trust Wallet is that it's not compatible currently with the locking website that we have. We are working on that, and we hope to have a resolution for that in the next couple of days as well. So for anybody who is using their Trust Wallet, hopefully that will be fixed for you soon, and you'll be able to get the locking set up. Obviously, we haven't, well, we have implemented the lock. The lock is implemented, but we haven't actually pushed the button on locking yet. I suppose because there has been a little bit of teething issues, the likes of the Trust Wallet, but also we wanted to give people time to understand the process that needed to be done, because I mean, it took a little bit of time, I suppose, to communicate to people what needed to be done. Obviously, I didn't help with that last week, in the sense that I thought it was one way, and then it turned out to be a completely different way. So it was entirely my fault at the start of last week's AMA. I very confidently gave you completely the wrong information about how to lock, and that was completely my fault. I had taken up the dev team completely wrong. But hopefully you'll know by now that if you have the new update, you go in and you get your device ID from the settings in the app, and then that is what you paste in to the lock website, and then that identifies how much Peach you have in your wallet, and it gives you whatever access to whatever tier you will have. Obviously, at the minute, you can do that. You can now register and get yourself set up so you'll know what tier you're in. But at the moment, we have